So this is a short video regarding an update on this Section 8 notice that we served about 2 weeks ago now, when the tenant stopped paying and they had amounted 2 months worth of rental arrears. And I just want to kind of show how the process actually works. So it's about really following the process. So just to recap, we had a tenant, a couple of guys who'd been with us for a few years, actually, from HMO rooms to then they jointly shared a two-bed flat, then went to this three-bedroom house over the last 6 years or so. Nice guys, but clearly things sometimes fall foul and circumstances change. So they'd stopped paying. Well, actually, one of them had stopped paying. So whoever the main guy was taking the money from the second person, but not paying the rent. So 2 months have ticked over. The first guy had left to move with somebody else, and left this second guy into a bit of a lurch. So 2 months of debt arose, and on the day of the kind of the second month of arrears, following the legal process, I had my solicitor write a Section 8 notice to them and serve them by post, as well as verbally we told them that it is coming. Right now at this time, which is November 2021, there was a 2 weeks notice we had to provide them. So we give them the notice, wait for 2 weeks, which is due to expire on the 3rd of December 2021. Today we are the 27th of November. So the idea was to give them till the 3rd of December, or the court gives them to the 3rd of December, and if they don't then move, then we apply for court orders and pay even more money, and etc. etc. But as it turned out, the team and I managed to basically keep in communications with one of the remaining tenant, and to make matters worse, it had sublet one of the rooms as well. So I had one of the sublet guys saying, "Oh, hang on, I've paid my rent. Why am I being kicked out?" And to that point alone, I said, "Look, you don't exist in the terms of this AST, so we don't recognise you. That's something that you have to deal with whoever you've been subletting from." The second guy who was on the tenancy, who'd been left in lurch, we then communicated with him specifically directly, because the other guy just didn't want to know. He was kind of ranting and raving about all excuses to try and delay it. But the second guy then, the key here, why I'm saying all this is to keep in communication with people, because as we communicated with him, we gave him some help about how and what to do. We obviously be clear about the dates that he has to leave, and also the debt that he's going to be amounting if he doesn't leave, because we're going to keep on adding the cost of the service of the court, an extra month rent, etc. etc. On the flip side, I was thinking, God, if I can get him out as close as possible to the 25th of this month, which is 2 days ago, would be when his third month rent would have been due, the less loss I will suffer. So as it turned out, yesterday, after quite a few bit of negotiation, discussions, communication, help, the last guy finally left yesterday on the 26th of November. So really, one extra day over his second month of rental due. Which means now I've already got an existing tenant of mine from another place who wants to take this three-bedroom house. So he moves his family in that three-bedroom house on Tuesday next week. This house now is empty, so we're going to spend Monday to have a deep clean, send the cleaners in there. It's not bad at all, actually. The condition's been left really well. So that's great, because I've reduced now the time it has taken to kick them out. Otherwise, going to court would have taken another 3 to 4 weeks before we get a court order. Bearing in mind it's Christmas. Now the government has just announced that they were going to put a 2 week stay over the festive period, not to have any eviction. So you could have easily seen it through to the kind of middle to end of January here, amounting for another 2 months worth of rent. So as it turned out, we are now 2 months of rent in arrears. He's moved out. I can rent that house for the third month, basically, that he would have been in arrears. So I can re-rent that house now, so that money starts to come back in. The 2 months that's due, there's 1 month's deposit that is secured against the DPS, Deposit Protection Scheme. I'll be able to claim that back, and in effect right now my loss position is 1 month's rent, which is, it's not great. Clearly no loss is great, but actually what it could have been it could have been a lot worse, and it could have been 3, 4, 5 months and plus. You know, especially with COVID now, you don't know. So the key here that I want to pass on is around following the process. Understand what the process is. So the minute that somebody doesn't pay for 2 months, you get a Section 8 notice served to them. You can get that free on the NRLA. If you're an NRLA member, you can get that free on an NRLA website. But make sure you follow the right documentation, you serve the right documentation, and you keep a postal record of when you posted that notice. And just for your record, when you post it and you keep a postal note, or you ask the post office to give you a receipt of postage, that acts legally as that the notice has been served. So follow the process. Wait for wait for the 8 weeks of non-payment. Serve the Section 8 notice. If in my case, I use solicitors all the time just to get it quick and correctly. That cost me £90 for a letter, but you know what? £90 for a letter, but not losing £1,300 is a no-brainer. Then wait for that notice to expire, which is right now at the moment is 2 weeks. We had to wait for it to expire. Then you go to court for a court order. In between that time, try to have that, and I know it's not easy sometimes because the tenants don't want to engage, but try to engage with them and try to find mutual ground where you can actually get them to leave earlier rather than later. So I hope that's helpful, and that kind of completes this eviction, this is part 2 of the eviction series. So it just goes to show that, it's not all, it's not all Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Range Rovers. This is, it is a business. You run it as, these are customers. You have to run it in that certain way. We've got some great customers. In effect, these guys have been great customers for the last 6 years. But due to unfortunate personal circumstances, things do change and things can get a bit sour, I guess, if you like. So, but just bear that in mind. If you follow the process, you cannot go wrong. So NRLA for the Section 8 notice, or a solicitor, that's good to serve that notice, and then wait for the time. If you can communicate with them. Then after that, to chase the debt, you'll register that debt now. So I will go to court and register the outstanding debt and serve that debt onto them in a few months' time, once we know where they've actually then relocated to, using a tracing agent. So if you've got any comments or any questions, please feel free to leave some in the comments section below. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube. I've got a Facebook group of over 6,000 members now on Facebook called Title Splitting Properties. I post a lot of content there as well, and I offer one-to-one coaching as a property developer. I'm a fully, still very much so an investor that I buy pretty much 1-2 a month. So I'm very much into the local knowledge about what's going on in the market as well. So it's not like I did it 10 years ago and I'm selling courses here. Here, this is something that's actually current knowledge, and I can speak for single buy to let. I can coach you on how to buy those, how to source those, how to finance them, HMOs, how to run them, how to license them, and how to make good money out of them in a very efficient way. But I also teach one-to-one on title splitting, so buying bigger blocks of flats, 10, 20, 30 units of flats, splitting the titles, creating value out of them, improving the actual unit itself, and then refinancing them, cashing all of your money out. So recycling every single money that you have out to go and buy the next block. So you can find the information on the links below. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.